Dum da dum dum.
Sean here. Umarex Glock17 Gen 5. It's been a while since we looked at this, and this is just a helpful video for somebody who reached out in the comments that's having a problem after they replaced their firing pin, which is that guy right there. I don't know if this is the cause of his problem, but I'm gonna put it out there because I have fully disassembled this, and it's something that came up during my disassembly and caused me grief, and it's possible it's the same problem. So, if you remove this whole apparatus out of the grip frame, you're gonna see well, you won't be able to see here, but this little doodad right there interlocks with the hammer and the trigger and all this jazz. Essentially, there's a little torsion spring is my best description. It's not quite a torsion spring because it doesn't have the loop. At least I don't remember, but we're gonna find out here together. It's kind of like a L-shaped spring, pardon the dogs barking. And if it falls out of place or it breaks or it essentially is non-existent, your trigger goes dead. Well, it doesn't go dead, but your launcher won't fire. It'll gas, it'll do all the regular stuff, but nothing. It'll be nothing. You can see how when I pull the trigger, it's actuating that little tab there. So before this fellow goes and does anything, I would take your slide off again, pull your trigger. You should see this moving. The spring that's in here kind of just keeps a little bit of tension on this to keep it in this upright position, like so you can see it here. If I didn't have the spring here, this tab would be down like that, and that would cause you all kinds of problems. So we'll do this quick. Going to knock. Now, even if you didn't disassemble this whole thing, it's possible that the spring looks pretty delicate in my opinion. So it may have, oops. It may have just broken on its own. You know, they're pretty reliable markers, but you know, things do happen. There we go, knock the pin out. Now, let's see when I pull this out. Now you can see how this is just limp, right? So, this is the delicate spring. Now you can see it there. You see it flopping around. Right there. So in this case, it isn't a torsion spring. A torsion spring, I'm gonna pull it out. And you can see it really is just, there's like the tiniest little hole right, there's a groove. I know it's hard to see, but right directly in line with this here, with my punch pin, there is a groove and like the smallest hole. I mean, look how tiny this thing is. Honestly, this is going to be a tough one because I can give you a wire gauge, I think, and that's going to be about it. Dimensionally, this is hard to replicate just by me calling off measurements, but I will do my best. So let's go with that. You could remake this spring with like spring wire. You'd obviously have to bend it all up yourself. So let's try and get some measurements here. And we're gonna do this in metric, since he did say he was in the UK. Come on, 0. First off, wire gauge. I'm gonna call that a 0.70 wire gauge. Now, if we're gonna give an overall length, I'd have to combine all the, oops, I shouldn't have done that. All the measurements here. So these are gonna be rough. And why is my Caliper's magnetic today. Go figure. So we're just going to give this roughly, we're going to say it's 27. Plus, we'll say, given there's a little bend there, we're going to call that 7. What did I say the first one was? I already forgot. I had a 3 o'clock call out this morning, so we said 27 and 7. That's 34. Plus an additional 6. So it's 40 millimeters in length total, approximately. Again, the first bend. Oh man, these magnetic stuff is killing me here today. It's about 27 there. So 27, and hopefully that gives some scale and you can, I don't know, try and bend that up. The only other option, man, is I know you said you're in the UK, and honestly, that's probably not something that I don't think anybody's going to have. But maybe John Reynolds over at Alternate Arms Self-Defense, I would reach out. And this spring may be specific. The shape of this may be specific to the Glock17. I'm sure it's present in all these blowbacks, but good luck, man. Good luck. I wish I could be more help than that. And obviously, to put it back in is take some very fine fingers. Some needle nose. Really hard to show you guys because like literally this thing is tiny. And there you go. It's in place again. So before you go crazy and thinking you screwed your marker up, do what I said. Take your slide off. See if this linkage here is up and actuating with the trigger. If it's down or it has no tension, yeah, unfortunately, I think that particular spring is missing.